Good evening, YouTube. This is Einstein with my regular Sunday night dinner. And tonight is menu 15, US MRE, Mexican style chicken stew. And Chris is in the house. Thanks for dropping in. This is one that I got out of the last mystery box that I got from Minotaur Trading Company last month. And there's Pete in the house. So this is one that I would have eventually gotten to sooner or later, but I got it now. This is a Warnock pack. And I just noticed today when I was getting this out of the box that I keep all my rations in, that the bottom seal is crooked. I'm assuming these are filled from the bottom, hence the peelable seal. I'm pretty sure those are done in advance. And like the 2 times that I was able to buy empty MRE bags, the bottom was open and the seal on the top that you would peel to open it is closed, and you feel from the bottom, so somehow this one got sealed crooked. Warnock does not put date codes on the outside of their bags, so I don't know when this was packed. I also see a Ford in the house, prepping live. Iowa brother. Oh, thanks for dropping in. So I got some water on the stove coming up to a boil. And there is a new name I haven't seen in here before. Gold Prospecting. Thanks for dropping in. So I'm going to go ahead and start pulling things out of here. So this is the retort pouch that has a chicken stew. Sometimes my camera on this old phone doesn't want to focus. But this appears if there are a few different sets of 4-digit numbers, so if I go by that one, this would be 2019, but I'm going to pull out some other items just to make sure. Cheddar cheese pretzels, otherwise known as combos. Yep, here's another one with a 9. So this is 2019. So 81st day of 2019 was when this particular item was packed. So I'm calling this one a 2019 MRE. This is the accessory pack. And this says $9117. Says BRP. I'm not sure what that one means on here. Sometimes they have a specific letter on here for which accessory pack version. If this one does not, it just has the BRP, so I'm not sure what that means. An MCW accessory pack would specifically be labeled as for MCW. Cheese spread with jalapenos. Nice. The brown MRE spoon, Most of the time I don't use these unless I'm doing an MCW, because I'm usually using my foreign MRE Sport made of titanium. There's Grizzly Taco in the house. There is Mike in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Another pair of first-time visitors to my Sunday streams. Chocolate flavored First Strike bar. The full-size version. The minis are only about half the size. You may get those in First Strike rations. And here is another retort pouch. This one is mixed fruit. So basically fruit cocktail. And chocolate hazelnut cocoa. So think as if you're drinking liquid Nutella, but with the slightly lesser hint of the hazelnut. Here is the flameless ration heater. So no doubt this one will be pretty good, but I just choose not to use them. There is Rachel Sunshine in the house. Thanks for dropping in. A few were in the Ration Museum stream earlier today. So that was a pretty interesting one, watching how Sean was attempting to do some literal 3D scanning of a few items in the museum collection. Here is a sleeve that has some stuff on this side, and here is the nutrition facts for and ingredients for the Mexican style chicken stew. But it doesn't have it for the fruit cocktail, which is kind of weird, but that's okay. There is puppy breath in the house. And the last thing to come out of here is crackers. I was hoping for tortillas, but nope. Got crackers this time, but it is what it is. And the MRE bag will be the trash bag, so not going to be messing with this because I'm inside. You know, at home, I don't use the flameless ration heaters. I do store them, so that way I have a means of heating up a retort pouch or a small can or something, or I could put a hot beverage bag with the stuff for coffee in here, heat it up that way, and make very little noise to let anyone know that I was actually going to make something somewhat warm. But maybe one of these days, in a future video, I'll go ahead and use one of these just to show how it works. But now what I will do is I will move a couple of things aside. I will open up the accessory pack. Show you what's in here. These accessory packs do vary. So here, 2 pieces of peppermint gum. Wow, this drink powder packet literally was fused to the inside of this. This is lemonade flavored drink mix powder. Basically, it's a sugar-free type. So, because the artificial sweeteners weigh a lot less than sugar, they're lighter in weight, they take up less mass. There's a packet of salt, which for older ration heaters, sometimes you might throw this in there to help it kick off. The obligatory rear roll. Lighthouse puts these together. And it's basically 10 folded up tissues. So this is where they're folded. So imagine this, but twice as long. And I save all of these because, you know, you never know when that could come in handy. And this one did not come with a beverage bag. So the last two items in here, some crushed red bell pepper and a wet wipe. So there is no coffee in this ration. So this cocoa beverage powder, these pouches are designed to be used as the mixer bag. But for the sake of doing these videos, most of the time I just don't bother with it. So I'm just dumping it into my 4 MRE mug. So again, I apologize for the shakiness. This phone mount is not the most stable thing, but it allows me to get the view that I want. So that is what the cocoa powder looks like. Because this is this drink mix is made without sugar, I don't feel that I will need to go ahead and pre-mix it, although most of the time I usually do, because they take a lot longer to dissolve. I'm going to go ahead and get this into the boiling water first, and I will put this on top of the handle of the pot lid, and that will warm the cheese spread. And that will be all the, other than mixing that will be all the prep that is needed. So I'll get these in the kitchen and I'll be right back. I just poured that off camera so that you won't get a steam bath. I'm not getting much of the hazelnut scent off of it, but there is just a barest hint of it. I'm just going back through the chat. Yeah, this one could have come with hot sauce, but instead the crushed red pepper. So I will put that back there. Some of these drink sticks call for a full 20-ounce water bottle or a half-liter water bottle, but sometimes that can be too weak. But this drinking jar, I can get maybe 13 ounces. So this is looking like lemonade. Here, I'll move it up so you can see what it's looking like. It may clear up as it settles. So I have just a little bit more water left in here, so I'm just going to go ahead and pour it in. And I'll just put that back there. So here is the fruit cocktail, and the other pouch will be the same way the tear notches go from one end to the other instead of this way. Like they used to be in the past, you'd have to rip from side to side instead of end to end. For eating out of, that would make it easier. And for dumping out onto a larger section of your tray or whatever dish you're using, that can make it easier. Or it only rip halfway, so that still didn't rip all the way across, so I can deal with that. I can just pull on it. There you go. I'm going to go ahead and put the fruit cocktail over here. And for once, didn't skimp on the cherries. Sometimes you may not even get one cherry out of these. It's just like when you go buy fruit cocktail in a store. So here's the nutritional stuff and the ingredients on the back of this one. That's why it wasn't on that sleeve. So there's too much reflectivity on this to make it easy to read. That's okay, Ford. You dropped in for a little while. You know, internet crap happens. So these are the combos. These crackers have a bit of a bend to them. There's a good hiss. I hope you heard that. So sometimes these can be a little harder to get out of the pack than at other times, but there will be a few crumbs popping off here and there. I can already see that this is going to break, so I'll just let that fall off. I'll probably end up crushing some of these up anyway. Wow. I hope it wasn't too bad. I'm opening up the first strike bar. Well, that first strike bar is a bit out of the view, so I'm gonna change this just a little bit. See if I can. There we go. Now it's more in view. Be able to see things better. I'm going to go back into the kitchen. I'm going to take the kettle back in. Plus, I want to go ahead and get the cheese spread and bring it back in here. If I don't decide to just flip it and leave it on top of that pot handle. So I'll be right back. I just brought the cheese spread back in. Warming it makes it just a little bit easier to knead it, because you do want to knead these before you open them up, especially if they've been chilled for some time and then you warm it. Then again, you don't want to get it too warm. And go ahead and just squirt a little bit. And I just leave that off to the side. You can see the bit of the jalapeno right there. In fact, I'll go ahead and break that up. Oops. I'm going to go ahead and give this a bite. Now, I like the jalapeno cheese spread better than the regular because it doesn't taste as salty. I'm going to go ahead and take a taste of this. That's just the right amount of tartness, so if I were to add more water, then it would be a bit weak. But as it is, that lemonade is pretty good on its own right now. So for those who may watch this from time to time, if you're from another country and you've never seen the combos, here's one that's kind of a fun one that's actually split. Or maybe I can split it. Here we go. Here's a good one. This is what the combos look like as we can find them in a store. It's a pretzel, or it can be like a cheese cracker type thing. It's a tube that has a filling inside it. This one just happens to have cheese inside of a pretzel. So that could be something if someone wanted to add a little crunch, or if the stew needed a little salt, you could just put some of these in there and you get the extra salt flavor that you want, plus you get the cheese, you get the crunch. That would be another option. Here's a Hazelnut Cocoa. As I said, when I first opened that pouch, I could barely get a hint of the coconut or the hazelnut, but it is there, and it's same with the flavor. You get more of the aroma than the flavor, but I still like that cocoa, so I would drink that any day. And these First Strike bars are somewhat similar to the Canadian Soldier Fuel Bar. I did a comparison back in 2019 where I had a chocolate First Strike and I had the chocolate Soldier Fuel Bar, and I did a comparison, and they're very similar in flavor, very similar in texture, with the Crispies in there. I thought that was a fun thing to do, and since I happen to have both, I figured why not? Anyway, I'm going to go back into the kitchen. I'm going to get the main, and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. I just use this to bring it in, and then bring in a paper towel so that I can dry it off. Just makes it easier to handle. I'm just shaking the food down so that when I rip open the tear notch, that it will not be making a big mess. Hopefully this one will not be so obstinate. There we go. I still had a little bit of spray, but that's okay. So this is what the chicken stew looks like. I see Marilyn has slid in. Thanks for dropping in. Big pieces of chicken. There's corn in there. That looks like a bit of tomato. It kind of looks like the color of Chef Boyardee sauce or some of the pasta sauces that are in MREs. Big chunks of chicken. The tomato is quite soft. And the corn is it's soft, but it still has a bit of crunch to it, but just barely. And the green bell pepper, that's pretty much mush. There is a piece of the chicken by itself in the sauce. It almost has a texture of ground chicken instead of shredded. See, that is the inside of one of the chicken chunks. The flavor is pretty good. But if they would have stuck to shredded chicken or pulled chicken, it probably would be a lot more natural tasting. Now here's a big chunk where didn't quite get the chunks to the right size, because like I just busted a long piece up into three pieces. But there are no beans in here. Like no black beans, no pinto, no red or any kind of bean like that, which I would have expected. There is Gil from Patton Family Compound. Now, since I have some of the sauce on these bits of the cracker, I'm actually going to go ahead and see, when these crackers get bent, they break pretty easily. And because I have the jalapeno cheese spread, I'm going to put some of that in here. I'm going to see what that does. Adding the jalapeno cheese does help a little bit, but there is still more. This. I'm opening this up. That is what the pepper flake looks like. It's all in there. That definitely should kick up the flavor. That definitely did amp up the heat a bit. And I'm busting up some of the combos that are already busted. Now that kind of brings a bit more balance, at least to me. And who doesn't not like a little crunch in their stew? I mean, people put crackers in soup all the time. And Rachel is back from whatever she had to do. What I did was I took a few bits of cracker and combos and busted them up in there after I added some of this jalapeno cheese. And I added the crushed red pepper, the whole packet. And if Dubsy had this is what he would be doing. Yep, that would be a Dubsy megabyte. Now, if you had the nacho cheese bugles, that would probably be good in this. But unfortunately, they would be absolute dust if you had those in a ration. They would not survive. In fact, I have a pouch of the Cheez-Its that originally came out of a ration, and they are pretty much dust, but I got an idea for those. And that will be coming up when I start doing my ration mashups. But you'll have to wait till I start doing those to find out what I got planned for that bag. And Chicago is in the house. Thanks for dropping in. What you're looking at is the US MRE Menu 15 Mexican style chicken stew from 2019. And unfortunately, I got crackers instead of tortillas, but this is working out just fine. I make do with what I got. And I just keep going with it. Earlier today, I put up a video of the stuff I got from Minotaur Trading Company. And I ordered an item specific for use when I do the ration mashups. That garlic flavored instant potatoes. Don't know if they will be as good as the Russian ones with it, which I like. As right now, the Russian instant potatoes are my favorite. And I have done a few things with those in the past. But speaking of instant potatoes, next week I will be doing that shepherd's pie Minotaur Arctic field ration. So I'm looking forward to giving that a go. And since I have my order from foreign MRE, plus what I got from Minotaur, I got some good stuff lined up. And I have more on the way. And provided that nothing unfortunate happens to one of these items, I'll be getting something that I have been wanting to get for quite some time. And the last time I had a box with this particular item listed on it, it had been raided by customs. But that's okay, the rest of the stuff got used up. But I will hold off on telling you exactly what that is until I get it. Oh, wow. Also, Smokey has those melamine bowls and the cups that go with them. So once in a while you'll see him feature one of those. And Smokey has one of those trays, I believe. They're kind of think a little bit lighter than than these combos. And he says they really hold the heat in after you put something hot in them. Squirting the rest of the but last night he used one of those bowls to put his main in from that MRE that he opened up last night. And I bet they also do pretty good at holding in the heat from a hot drink. See, the Sean at the Ration Museum also has some of those melamine. He has a tray, he's got some bowls, and I think he has the cups as well. So, and if you can find the vintage ones that are in still good condition, that would be an awesome score. I don't know if that kind of a tan color is the only color they were made in. I have no clue about that. But the ones that Smokey has and the one that Sean has, I think those are pretty old. And if you know the provenance of them, the history of them, that's even better. Now those, I've had melamine plates before that look like a Chinese plate. You know, Chinese designs on them. It actually broke. It was really thin. And plus, some of that decoration comes off easy. So you have to be careful when you clean it. You don't want to put those in a dishwasher, because that could mess them up pretty good. Even though I'm using this green one tonight, I still really enjoy using my 1983 Tupperware tray. I have my phone plugged into a power bank, but either that one was not charged or something's up with it. So I switched power banks, because usually I plug my phone into a power bank before I start the stream, and the battery is fully charged. Speaking of foreign MRE, look who just showed up. Art, and possibly Nina, if she's there next to him. It's a menu 15 chicken stew. I was poking around on the site earlier, and the MCWs are up. They got in a few cases of the meal cold weather. So anyone looking to score a meal cold weather can now get them. Right now they're just selling individual bags, but they're supposed to get some cases in, so you could buy a case if you wanted. But thanks for that super chat. That's okay. You're probably busy just doing stuff that you normally do on a Sunday night. But that Mexican chicken stew, with the additions that I put in it, turned out not too bad. 2019 pack. I put in some of this jalapeno cheese spread. I put in bits of this cracker. I busted up a few of these cheese combos. I put the crushed red pepper on it. Southern Ohio Prepping is in the house. Thanks for dropping in. So putting all that together actually made that pretty good. Artificial sweetened lemonade drink mix. basically tastes like any other artificial flavored lemonade. But I didn't mix it to the full 20-ounce strength, otherwise it would have been too weak. So it looks like a lemonade should. And this is Hazelnut Cocoa mix. The hazelnut is just noticeable hint of it. But it's pretty good. Got that in my foreign MRE mug. And the fruit cocktail did not skimp on the cherries. So I think there's at least 4 pieces of cherry in there. In fact, there's 3 pieces right there. But as usual, the grapes are crushed. And the pears are the firmest out of all of the fruits in here. The peach pieces are pretty soft. But your typical fruit cocktail, nonetheless. There's another bit of cherry. And got the chocolate flavored full length First Strike bar. Pretty darn good. Although having had the cran raspberry one, that one is now my favorite. But I will still gladly chow down on one of these. Now, the first flavor of First Strike bars that I've had was the mocha. And I do really enjoy those. And then I found the chocolate. Oh, my phone is wanting to die, so I'm going to have to go ahead and kill this. So I do apologize for cutting this short, but even though I plugged into... Oh, there we go. I just checked. I just replugged in the cord, so it wasn't quite... So maybe I can stay on a little bit longer. But I just pulled it out and put it back in again. This is a Samsung Galaxy S5 that I'm using to stream on, but anyway, the cran raspberry First Strike bar, those are totally awesome. The apple cinnamon one, not so much. That one reminds me more of a cereal bar, granola bar, than something like this, which is like the Canadian Soldier Fuel Bar. There is Angry Blacksmith in the house. Thanks for dropping in. But my phone is also getting very hot. So I am probably going to go ahead and call this one done. I will finish this off naturally. Now we'll grab my Kindle and find something else on YouTube to watch while I chow down on this. So I do want to thank you all for watching. Again, thanks to Foreign MRE for that super chat. And go check out Foreign MRE for their MCWs they got. And Minotaur Trading Company has those mystery Arctic field rations where you could possibly win some kind of a prize. Mine did not have one, but I don't care because it's good stuff anyway. So next week, shepherd's pie Minotaur Arctic Field Ration. Come back for that. And again, check out Ration Museum streams every Sunday at 5 Eastern, 4 Central. And see what Sean's got going on there. So thanks for watching, and catch you on the flip side.